Hello! I'm Elaine, and I'm a tour guide in the French Quarter. I do ghost tours. And I am not going to tell you the stories that I tell on my tour, because you gotta pay for those. But if you want to hear some interesting things that have happened to me while I'm leading random drunk people around the French Quarter, I got you. One of my least favorite things to deal with as a tour guide is people hitting on me. Now, weirdly, I tend to get the most people hitting on me on my family-friendly tour. Like, I don't tend to get many people hitting on me on Bad Bitches, which sort of makes sense because that's mostly female guests, and generally the guys are either with somebody or gay. But the Killers and Thrillers, I almost never have anyone hit on me. But back when I did the family-friendly, all the time. And sometimes it would be fathers there with their children and their wives, and they're sitting there asking me if I want to go back to the hotel with them. And I'm like, no, obviously, what's wrong with you? One of my least favorite nights ever as a tour guide, I was dividing a tour with two other guides, and I got there first and was just chatting with some of the guests. And there was this big group with about five, like, late teen, early college age guys. And I was already at this point over 30, but I look younger than I actually am, so I'm not surprised when 20-something guys hit on me. I'm not necessarily comfortable about it, but I'm not surprised. And this guy came up and was like complimenting me on my clothes, which I don't mind, but then he was talking about the fact that I was wearing a choker style necklace, and he pointed at it and was like, "That's cute. So what kind of kinky shit do you like in the bedroom?" And I'm sitting here like, this is a family-friendly tour. There are children nearby. What the hell is wrong with you? And also, inappropriate to ask that of anyone you don't know / are not going to be going to bed with. And I can't be rude to him because, my job is to entertain people and be polite. So I'm just sort of like, not an appropriate question. And I sort of like try to dissuade him from talking to me, but he keeps talking to me until finally I'm like, I have to talk to the other guests. And like, I find an excuse to get away from him. And when the other tour guides get there, we're talking about how we're going to divide this tour. And I'm just like, any group but that one. I don't want that group. Please, for the love of God, I don't want that group. And somehow I count out my group first because they know there's a group I don't want. So they let me count my people first. And even though I specifically avoided his group, I look up and he's with my people. And like, I'm doing the mouth, I count them again, hoping that like now I'm over number so I can be like, no, you gotta go back. But I'm exactly at the number I was supposed to be. So the best I can figure is this guy traded out with somebody else to be in my group. And he spent about the first 3 stops coming up and asking me inappropriate questions about things like, hey, your boobs look really good in that. What size bra do you wear? Another point, he came up and asked me, so like, do you ever go back to the hotel with your guests after the tour? And I'm like, not with you, 14-year-old boy. But eventually he seemed to get the message that this was inappropriate and that no, I was not into him. But weirdly, one of the other most awkward and uncomfortable and inappropriate interactions I've ever had with someone on my tour was a girl who didn't seem to be hitting on me, but still came up and complimented me by saying, your boobs look amazing. The thing is, they did look good that night because I was wearing a corset, and corsets tend to push everything up and make them look very nice. And I explained that to her, that, like, it's just a corset. It's not, like, anything. It's just like, oh, because mine are fake, and I keep thinking that yours look better than mine. And I'm sitting there looking at her going, no, yours are fine. Can we stop talking about boobs, though? Because, yeah. But most of the time when people hit on me, it's not the people on my tour, which makes it very easy to just, flip them the bird and keep moving. Overall, don't hit on your tour guide. They are required by their job to be nice to you. That doesn't mean they like you. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and thank you for listening.